A varied group of UN member states gathered in the newly reopened UN Economic and Social Council chamber in New York on Thursday to announce ACT, an acronym for Accountable, Coherent, and Transparent. Switzerland says non-Security Council members should have more input in long-awaited change because all member states are legally bound by Security Council resolutions.
We have 178 noses pressed against the window, and I think this window should be as open and transparent as possible.
Now, the Swiss ambassador was careful to emphasize that the ACT committee should not be mistaken for a body exacting the full Security Council reforms that member states have asked for decades. He says that ACT should emphasize real, doable changes that the Council can implement now as it goes about its business. The member states involved include Ireland, Uruguay, Norway, Liechtenstein, and more than a dozen others. They're pushing for measures that include fewer closed-door meetings, such as the ones on Syria, and engagement against the veto, which has been abused over the years, most notably by the U.S. in its unilateral defense of Israel. Irish Ambassador Ann Anderson says that Council debates bear little resemblance to any real discussions.
In many cases, we are talking about ritualistic exchanges, where speakers talk past each other from scripts that have been prepared days beforehand. And of course, as we all know, only a handful of people actually stay in the room for the duration of any given open debate. There has to be a better way.
Norway practically called the Council's behavior ignorant, saying that it habitually passes overbearing resolutions with military options long after problems might have been addressed more simply and peacefully with diplomacy.
2/3 of the adopted resolutions by the Council last year was under Chapter 7. Most of them related to mandates of peacekeeping operations or sanction regimes. In generic terms, the Council is responding reactively and incrementally to evolving crises, usually by first issuing press statements, followed by PRSTs, then finally resolutions. But when resolutions have been adopted, the states has usually been passed where the Council could have engaged in a strategic discussion on relevant diplomatic options.
Uruguay made the point that UN peacekeeping missions have shifted away from their original intended purpose of late, something that he said was not ever discussed with key troop contributing nations such as his. How well the Council will actually respond to ACT recommendations remains to be seen. Hank Flynn, Press TV, New York.